All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at plate 3 here. Clearly, I have the wrong title down here, drawing number. I will have to go back and change that. So let's go ahead and look at this drawing. There are a couple, ladies, there are a couple things that we are going to be looking at on this drawing. Number one, we're going to be reinforcing using the offset command. You are also going to start learning how to draw lines on different layers. You're also going to learn how to create different types of lines, okay? We are also going to go and we are going to modify lines so that they are created at angles rather than being straight. And then lastly, what else are we going to do? We are going to reinforce how to draw circles, just as we've done before. Paying attention to diameters and radiuses. Remember, diameter is edge to edge of a circle. Radius is from the center point out to an edge. Okay? Circumference is if you were to walk the entire edge of the circle. One of the things that we are going to look at with this drawing, you are going to notice that the distance from our edge over is 5 units. There is no indicator as to how our placement is up and down. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you after the fact how to go through, select the entire object, and move and adjust it so that it looks visually appealing for the drawing area. Make sense? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our model drawing area. Put this in full screen so we can see it a little bit better. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and use the offset command. The distance to the center here was 5. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 ways to find the center. Okay. Way number 1, I already said the offset. I'm going to go ahead and hit 5, enter, select the object, give it a direction. Okay, right there, I found the center. Now, that's because I know that this length of this line is 10. How do I know that the length of this line is 10? Well, I created it, that's why. But besides that, if I simply select it on the line, I can go over and I can look in this line properties. And what does it say under length? 10. Okay. If I look at this line length here, what does it say? Okay, 6.875. Now, I could take that number and break this off. What I can do is I can take that number, I can subtract it from here, and I could establish where my top point is. Okay. We'll do it a little bit differently, though. Make it a little easier for us. So I found my center. What I'm going to do right off the bat is I'm going to go ahead and take that line that we just took, and I'm going to change it to a different layer. So the way I'm going to go ahead and change that to a different layer is by selecting the escape, make sure I don't have anything selected, select the line that I want to modify. And what I'm going to do is at the very top of my screen, I'm going to have a layer control. What this layer control does is it allows us to pick various predetermined layers for what we want to do. I've created these layers for us. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go down to center. Okay? Now, hopefully, if we did everything right, it's going to switch it over. not happy with it, so I'm going to come over here. Let's see here. It is totally not happy. Okay. All right. So the web version is just slightly different. Come over here to layer, change it to layer over on that side. Okay. We'll switch this one back to the 0 layer. Normally in the desktop version, you just change it by selecting it and then pulling the drop down here. They have us doing this slightly different. Yes, sir. Okay, select the object. Got the object selected. I come over to where it says layer over in the line properties. Change it from 0 to center. Now, while we're here, Jordan kind of reminded me of something. You guys see this DEF points? This is called def points or definition points. One of the things that you got to be very careful with in AutoCAD is that you do not draw on the def points layer. And you're going to be like, well, Mr. Q, why is the def points layer there? So I'm going to explain it to you. Def points will not print. It is what I would call like a construction line layer or a hidden line layer where they're there, but when you go to print the object, they will not show up. One of the biggest issues that I have seen over the years is that students will accidentally get on the def points layer, not even realizing it. They will draw their entire drawing. They will go to print it or save it, submit it, and nothing shows up. Or there will be like random lines that are either missing or it'll be the complete opposite. There'll be like random lines that show up and the rest of the drawing is missing. If this happens, call me over immediately. I will help you fix it. There is no need to, I've seen this before, students will go rogue. They will delete the entire drawing because they think that they did something majorly wrong. And then they will literally start over again. You don't need to. The cool thing with AutoCAD is you can easily switch line types, line layers, line thickness with just a couple of keystrokes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape. Next thing I'm going to do is let's go and look at the overall width of my object. It says that it's 4 units wide, so I'm going to offset a distance of 2 units. But I want to take a little bit of investigating here. You see how this right here says 2 units? If I was to use the offset command, I could do an offset of 2, and I establish this. I can get out of the command, and then I can go back into it, select 1, and then I could offset and come up with this corner here. But if I think 2 steps ahead, kind of like chess playing, if I select the unit of 1 for my offset, I can solve 2 problems at one time. I can establish this point, and then I can offset it one more time and establish this next point. So why don't we go ahead and do that? So I'm going to go ahead and use offset. Choose my distance of 1. Pick my object, offset it once. Pick my object again, offset it second time. I'm going to pick my original object, offset it to the right. Pick this object here, offset it to the right again. Right click and confirm it. Say again. 2 times on each side, you are correct. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select each of my new lines I just created by holding the shift key and then selecting on them. left click, but I hold the shift key while I'm selecting each of them. And I'm just going to change them back to the 0 layer. You have to left click on one of them to start with. After you've selected one, go ahead and hold shift, and then you can select the remaining ones. Still loaded? Huh? Oh no. Guys, make sure you start bringing your chargers in. What's the matter? What's the matter? Okay, you still an offset. Grab you out of the handful. Yeah, it is loading, yeah. He's okay with it. That's why we're recording him. Yeah, hold the 50. Yeah, so you have to select each one. Oh, no. Did it load yesterday? Huh? A little bit. All right. Boo, I'd like you to try tonight when you get home. See if you can get it to sign on, okay? All right. So here's what we're going to do. I have selected each one of my items. I am going to go ahead and go to layers. I'm going to change it from center layer over to 0 layer. Now, when we're doing a drawing, generally we would kind of do it the reverse. We'd draw everything on the 0 layer, or the object layer as it's technically known as, and then we would flip back anything that was needed to be like a center line or a dimension or something like that. We would flip it over later on. We're just doing the reverse just so you guys get familiar with how to do things. Make sense? Repetition. All right, so I've now done this. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I know that my object needs to be the following: 4.8 units tall. So I'm going to start by just randomly drawing a line. Oh, Lord. You need to put that homework away now. Left click for a line. I'm just going to drag straight across. What's the length of the line? I don't know. Where's the location of it? I don't care. All I care about right now is it's towards the top of my object and it crosses over everything. Jordan, to answer your question, after you have selected the item, you can just come over here to where it says layer, change it from center to 0 layer. Okay. From here, anybody want to guess what I'm going to do? What command do you think I'm going to use? offset. Okay. We're going to go ahead and use distance of 4.8 and enter. Give it a direction downward, right click, confirm it. Now let's go ahead and do a little flippy flop here. Okay, so if we look back at our drawing again, this top distance right here, the difference between our overall and this top is 1 unit. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just drop using an offset of 1. So offset 1, enter, select it, drop it down, right click, confirm it. We're going to save and we're going to stop right there. Okay. No, this top line 4.8, and then this line right here was offset by 1. Okay, so I've saved it. We will